Hello guys and welcome back to another UCL Fantasy video. We're going into Matchday 8 in just a couple of days, so I decided to start preparing some videos for you to start your preparation for the upcoming week. First of all, you're going to see my Matchday 7 review. I made a mistake there, but you're going to see it, and I made a pretty good decision that you're going to see also. After that, I've prepared a list of some early tips for you to follow in order to be as prepared as possible for the upcoming Matchday 8. And you're going to see my first team for Matchday 8, how it looks, and what are my initial plans. If you want to support me and show your appreciations of the content that I create, you can click the subscribe button. It's completely for free and you'll be helping me reach that 2.5k subscribers. It's a very big goal of mine and it would mean the world to me. I'm currently 605th in the world, so I think it's a pretty good accomplishment, especially for a player playing it for the first time. This is the league code. You can directly join if you want to receive help directly. You can put a comment, you can like the video, and you can join the Discord group. It's completely for free once again. And now, without further ado, let's see how I did in Matchday 7. I think it pretty alright. It could have been better, but yeah, we're going to talk about everything. So here is how my team did in Matchday 7. I got 81 points, which dropped me down from 583rd in the world to 605th. I think that's a 1 point red arrow, which is basically nothing. At the end of the day, it could have been better with several poor performances, and we're going to go through all of them. So starting with the good things in my team, first of all, my transfer up front, instead of Griezmann, I went with the Ketelaere, and the Ketelaere provided, as you can see, he went with a massive 12-pointer. Goal and an assist. I think that's a pretty solid performance. At the end of the day, I think that I made the right choice. Of course, if I made the decision to go for Pavlidis from Benfica, it would have been even better, but let's not fool ourselves, I'm not going for him. Another good thing for that game week was the performance of Vini Jr. 2 goals, man of the match. Sadly, he got a yellow card and now he's suspended for the upcoming Matchday 8. We're going to talk about it in a future section, what we're going to do, but still an okay performance. Gyökeres, sadly, he was benched for the start of the game, but he got on around the 60th minute and he scored a goal, so at the end of the day, it was a good decision to sub him in, as he was on my bench in the first day and I replaced several players for him. Sadly, only bench appear for 30 minutes, not going to cut it. Hopefully, next week he is going to be playing full 90 minutes and he can score some goals for Sporting. Then Musiala, 2-pointer, a complete disappointment by Bayern Munich. Lost 3-0 to Feyenoord. I did not expect that. Musiala did not perform alright and at the end of the day got me only 2 points. Kuhn, once again, against a weak side, Celtic did not perform as expected. They missed a pen. To be fair, it wasn't missed by Kuhn. It wasn't won by Kuhn. Kuhn got a yellow card and his last performance for the group stage for my team did not end well. A 2-pointer, if he didn't get a yellow card, it would have been 3 points and that would have been on a grey arrow, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. My captain, Mohamed Salah, I decided to keep him on as a captain. If I went with Vini, it would have been 1 point better, but for me the risk was not it. Salah missed several chances, which for my surprise was not expected, at least by me, but he scored a good goal outside of the box and he got some good points. Reinders, 4 points. To be fair, nothing too dramatic about it. I like it. I think it's a good number for him to return, and I feel like it would have been, of course, better, but it would have been worse if he got a yellow card, if they conceded, because in goal, I am going to drop directly in goal. It's Mike Maignan with 7 points, 3 saves, and a clean sheet. Finally, a solid clean sheet from Milan, which boosted, of course, my Reinders pick and my Maignan pick. At the end of the day, I think that's pretty important. They won comfortably, to be fair, and yeah, I was delighted with it. Trusty kept a clean sheet against Young Boys as expected. Nick Kuhn should have scored, but Trusty did the expected. To be fair, Wagnerman almost did the expected. Slovan scored at the 80 to 83rd minute, something around that. If Wagnerman kept a clean sheet with those 8 points and Trusty with 7, it would have been a perfect decision for me to go for both of them. To be fair, Wagnerman is still an amazing option and I don't see a reason for me to count it not as a win, because this guy scored in the previous week in Matchday 6 and now in Matchday 7 delivered massive points. Kim, 4-pointer. To be fair, them conceding 3 goals and him finishing on 4 points is a good thing for my team. Solid performance by Kim. Thankfully, I didn't went with Harry Kane to be a triple upon Bayern Munich because that was in one of my plans. Yeah, it failed to go with a lot of Bayern Munich players, but I think in the last game they are going to deliver. But still, Kim with 4 points, I think it's a good performance. We already spoke about my none. Looking into my bench, you are going to see Benitez with a 2-pointer. The game was going so good for PSV, but they got a man sent off and they conceded 2 goals, and this ruined Benitez's performance. After that, it's Grimaldo with the 3 points. If I kept him instead of Kuhn or Musiala, it would have been better, but let's not fool ourselves. I was never keeping a 3-pointer. Not him, not Van Dijk for Musiala or Kuhn, who had pretty okay fixtures on the horizon. The biggest disappointment in my team was Florian Wirtz, and he was tend to be considered as a disappointment because he didn't do anything. He was amazing in Bundesliga. He was mediocre in UCL, and now he was amazing in Bundesliga as well. So hopefully he will be amazing in the last week, as I will be looking to go for him. But yeah, at the end of the day, I went with him instead of Rafinha, and Rafinha scored amazing points and hurt my rank massively. If I went with Rafi, I would have been probably in the top 300, which would have been a mind-blowing achievement, but still I'm in contention to move forward, and let's see where that would lead you. Now, the team did solid job, 81 points as expected. Almost every one of them delivered something, either a ball recoveries or something. That's why I enjoy defenders here, because they get ball recoveries even if they concede a not goal like Wagnumann. Forwards tend to score, so I had 1, 3, 4, 5 goals scored by my 7 attackers. It could have been better, but it could have been way worse. So yeah, I'm happy with it. Let's go and see now some early chips for the upcoming week. I'm going to deep dive into them and why I'm giving them to you, and after that you're going to see my initial squad for the upcoming Matchday 8. Here are some early chips that I would suggest to you to take into consideration when preparing for the upcoming Matchday 8. So you can deploy only 11 players. It's not an advice, it's something that just to remind you and not to forget to mention, because all the games are played in the same time, and that would mean that you cannot make subs and change captaincy. You can deploy only 11 players. That means that you must have at least 1 goalkeeper, at least 3 defenders, at least 2 midfielders, and at least 1 forward. Of course, you can do any interchange, but those things are necessity. Goalkeeper, 3 defenders, 2 midfielders, 1 forward. That's a must. You can go in a 5-4-1, you can go in a 5-2-3. Of course, you can do a 3-4-3, 4-4-2, whatever you pick, but you can only deploy 11 players. That would mean that you cannot experiment with captains this week, and you should be getting it nailed on as soon as your week starts. Then my advice would be to not use any chips in Matchday 8. In addition to that, I would be saying that I will be not making any wildcard and limitless videos, because I would strongly advise against using those chips. Those chips can be utilized in better weeks and in better performances, such as round of 16, round of 18, of 8, depending of what you want, quarterfinals, semifinals, etc. You have the capability of going and make some subs during the match day. With Matchday 8 and in the final, I think all of those chips in the final should have been played. In Matchday 8, if you have any, keep them. It's not worth using them, so I won't be making any wildcard and limitless videos, so please don't ask for them, as I strongly think that this is not going to be helpful for you. Limitless, you will be picking only 11 players. You can pick 11 players from your 15, and wildcard being wasted like that in the last match day, it's completely useless. At least think about it, and yeah, try to see it from my point of view and why I think it's a thing that I will not recommending. Don't take unnecessary hits for transfers is the next advice that I'm going to give you. This is a week where the player will be having only 1 week to return some points. So if your player is not starting, if your player is injured, or your player is suspended, try to bench him. And if you don't have a proper bench option, just use one of the best known proper bench option. For example, if you're benching a forward or a midfielder for it, just go and play them. It's not worth taking a hit, because in the off chance that your player doesn't return, he won't be able to pay out his hit later. It's the last week. I don't think it's the last week in the group stage, and that would mean that after that we get unlimited transfer, so your player will be going out for free. So don't use unnecessary transfers to fund 11 players. If you have 10 players, yes, I would get it. But if you have 13 playing players and for example you cannot you want to do a luxury transfer, so fit some luxury players, just don't do it. If you have 10 and with transfers you're up to 10, yes, hit would pay off, because at least a player will be having a chance to return. But taking someone that have a chance to return, for someone that have a chance to return, I would advise against. My next advice is to wait for deadline for transfers. You have all the lineups in the world to see in the deadline stream and in the deadline period. So don't use any transfer before that. It's not worth it. You are not gaining absolutely anything. The price changes have already happened. They are not going to move anymore, and you have zero information as of yet who is going to start. That's the reliable information. You have the exact information when we are on the stream, a deadline stream, and we see who is the player. So if you want to know the teams or you cannot find them yourself, tune in on the stream and we will discuss them. But yeah, please don't use any transfers as of now. The final thing is to focus on players with good fixtures. If you can afford some luxury transfers, I would suggest picking players that are fighting for something and are having good fixtures. For example, players from PSG, for example, players from City, Bayer Leverkusen, those type of stuff. I think that you could get pretty nailed on, and you have the lineups and you know who should be picking. So for now, I think that those news and tips are good for you to take into consideration. During the week, I will prepare transfer targets, my team selection video with transfers that I'm going to do. Then I will be providing some deadline tips. Most probably those tips will repeat themselves. So yeah, I can just copy and paste this slide because these are early and these are deadline tips. If we find someone injured or something like that, you will have it noted. But for now, I think this is a good starting process for you. Now let's go and see how my team is looking for now and where I will be most probably looking to change and to invest and what to do. I'm not going to propose any transfer, just going to pinpoint the things that I have in my team that I'm not a fan of and how I'm going to try and fix them. Here is how my team is looking at the moment. I've decided to arrange it properly to see what we can pick and what we can select. So in goal, I will be opting for Mike Mainan against Dinamo Zagreb. I think it's a good fixture for him. My other keeper is Benitez, who is facing PSV. You'll see the bench options in a second, so Mainan is going to be playing. Next up, we have Grimaldo against Sparta Praha. Of course, he will be starting, as I don't see zero reasons for him to be benched. Kim against Slovan Bratislava, they need to win that game, and for them to win it, they will be aiming for a good, solid performance in defense, and Kim can provide it. Next up, we have Virgil against PSV. I think Virgil starts. I don't think he's going to be rested there. I don't think he needs a rest. But in the off case, if he's rested, I will be looking to most probably replace him with someone else. Wagnumann is here, but he's facing PSG, and I think he will leave my team if no injuries and no benching headaches come into my way, because Wagnumann has a pretty poor fixture, and I think that I think PSG are winning that game, and I think Wagnumann will make a way for another defender. As I have 4.5 million in the bank, I will have the ability to choose whoever I want. Next up in midfield, we have Musiala against Slovan Bratislava. I think that he will be playing well. They did all right in the Bundesliga, so I think that they will need to build up on that performance, and they need to win that game in order to avoid strong teams like Liverpool and Barcelona in the round of 16. So I think Musiala is going to step up. Reinders against Dinamo Zagreb. I know Reinders hasn't been performing, but that will count as a luxury transfer with a good fixture, so I will rely on him if he's starting. My captaincy option for now is going to be Wirtz against Sparta Praha. I don't know if that's going to be the case on the deadline, but for now I'm not going to be moving it. Salah against PSV, for now he remains in the side. We'll see if he will be playing at all. Gyökeres against Bologna, of course he survives. Hopefully he will be fit for 90 minutes and play. And finally we have Vini Jr. against Brest. I know that Mika Richards like Brest, but I think Real Madrid are scoring a lot of goals. If Vini Jr. was fit, I was not going to, not suspended, I was not going to take him off. But sadly, he's expensive and he's suspended, so he's going to leave my team. On the bench, I have the players like Benitez in goal that I already mentioned. I'm not going to go for him. Trusty and Kuhn facing Aston Villa. I think Aston Villa at home will dominate Celtic and I will not be going for them. And De Ketelaere, sadly, he will have no place in the team as he faces Barcelona and I want to have as many defenders with good fixtures as possible on the field. Of course, if some of them are benched or injured, I will be dropping them, not using more than one transfer in defense, and I will be bumping it up to the Ketelaere, and I will be relying on a 3-4-3 formation. For now, I'm sticking with a 4-4-2. I know that this sign sounds crazy, but last week all of my defenders got 3 points and more. Not all of my midfielders and attacker got more than 2 points. So yeah, I would say I will be relying more on the defenders to get some nailed points. Wagnumann and Vini Jr. are the priorities to take out at the moment as Vini is suspended and Wagnumann is not having a good fixture. Of course, I will be reviewing the fixtures and the fixture difficulty rating, so we'll have all the knowledge that we need in order to prepare properly. For now, that's going to be my team selection. Expect on Monday, so depending on when you watch it on Monday, I most probably would have already dropped if you watched later than Monday this video, or later on. You get the idea. Monday will be a transfer target video, so I will be focusing on expensive and cheap players. Just like last week, it tends to do well, so I'm pretty happy with the performance of the team so far. Let's make Matchday 8 positive and let's have some fun. Let's give a round of applause to the members of the channel and let's close the video in the next section. As per usual, we are giving a shout out to all of the members of the channel. Seth Foreign with already 30 gifted, Zach, Oscar Papas, Kauster with 40 gifted, and Hem. Special thanks to you guys for becoming members of the channel and for you to have the perks that come with it. If you want to become members of the channel, guys, there are the prices if you're paying in pounds. Of course, in every currency there is a different price range, so if you want to become a member, there are some perks described in the part of the members of the channel. This way you'll be helping me financially. If you cannot afford it or you don't want to spend your own money, you can just click the subscribe button and give me a like and write down a comment and share it with friends. Those things are completely for free and it will help me massively. Next 3 days are going to be solely focused on UCL fantasy, so stay tuned for more UCL content. But for now, guys, I'll be heading out. Bye.